Morning, everyone, and welcome to the On the Go Post Show with the Go Morning Team. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Austin Love, Maureen Kyle, Dave Chudowski, and Holly Strano. We have a fun talker this morning with Austin Love talking about love as Valentine's Day approaches and talking with two couples that have been married for over what, Austin?
Together, they'd been married 135 years. One had been married 69 years, and the other had been married 66 years. But the Grossmans, who were married for 66 years.
Austin, wait, we'll get to that in just a second. Just a tease, little tease there. We got to start with Holly, though, first, because another thing, it seems like we've been having for 165 years, the cold.
I know.
Prepare us, Holly.
I think we all feel that way, and Austin's story is absolutely precious. So stick around here on this live. We're going to be cold again today. It's pretty similar to what we've had throughout the week. We are in the teens this morning. If you're watching later, many of you felt like you were in the single digits with wind chills. We'll only be in the 20s today, but pretty quiet outside of that. Passing snow shower or flurry. Fingers crossed for some peaks of sunshine. Otherwise, tomorrow looks like a carbon copy. We'll see some sun and start in the teens and end up in the 20s. Then we're tracking snow on Saturday. And then another system moving in for next week could bring not only snow, but ice. So stay tuned.
Whew, snow and ice. Let's just digest.
Yay! I'm going to go do radio.
Everybody's just like, oh, God.
I'm going to pass on more good news to everybody else.
Okay.
He comes in, just drops a bomb of bad news on us, and then just runs.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
Thanks, Holly.
Now you guys talk loud.
So, Holly talked cold. Well, let's warm up with some love. So, Austin, I was, cut you off there, but we do, for everyone who is joining us this morning, let us know, what are your love tips? How are you and your significant other really making it through this pandemic? Because if you compare your story to the stories that Austin Love has this morning, boy, you'll see that if they can make it, we can too. Go ahead, Austin.
Absolutely. And so first and foremost, go watch the story. It's on our Instagram, it's on our website, wkyc.com, Instagram at WKYC, the whole deal. But talk to two couples, and as we said, they've been together for collectively between the two 135 years. The two couples are not married to each other regardless. Yeah, I'm not going to go down there.
Okay.
That would be a story.
Wow, they're quadruple. What?
They were very progressive.
Very progressive.
They were quads.
So, we have Ralph and Selma. They've been married 69 years. And then Jane and Ron have been married 66 years, but they've been together for 77 years. They met when they were 12 yehave old.
Wait. Hold on. I have a question about that.
We're already having questions. Yes.
Have they been were they dating at 12, or it was just they just knew each other?
I think they met at 12, but they had been they were dating when they said they've been together for 77 years. So they dated 11 years before they got married.
Wow.
So it's crazy. So they've known each other their whole life. And first I'll get into kind of their situation right now. So Ralph and Selma live together. They're both these couples are at Menorah Park, and Ralph and Selma are quarantining together. They actually had COVID together and lived through COVID. And Selma's 87. Ralph is 92 years old, and thankfully both vaccinated now, doing well and great health. But they were just awesome. They talked about their relationship of just how much they traveled together and how much fun they had with each other, and that they still find each other interesting. They read all the time together, and I think that was really kind of the secret sauce to their relationship was they learned together and just talked a lot about it, just life, and just found each other genuinely interesting and really enjoyed each other's company. I asked Ralph if he ever got sick of, or I asked Selma if they ever got sick of being with each other, and Ralph said no, whenever she leaves, if she rarely does, I miss her. I kind of sit around and kind of wait for her. So that's the love that you really want to find. And then Jane and Ron, if anyone saw my Valentine's Day story last year, I had a fun story, and it was half and half, where I asked them millennial questions, and then I got some of their advice on dating, and I asked Ron, what do you think Netflix and chill means? And he goes, the only chill I know is chili con carne. And that's why I just fell in love with Ron. Ron is the absolute man. So I have sort of stayed in touch with them. And when this series came up, I was like, oh, I have to talk to them because they just have such a sweet love story. The 77 years, met when they were kids, have been together ever since. They said the longest that they've ever been apart was when they went to two separate colleges. But besides that, it was like for like a few months when he was in the service, like 3 months, I think. But right now, after being in their later years, being at Menora Park, Ron lives in an apartment and Jane lives in assisted living in Menora Park. So she needs some help, like walking and things like that. So before quarantine, he'd come over every day. They'd have, coffee, the whole deal. So they'd spend every single day together. Just they lived separately because of, health complications. But since quarantine, he said he went there one day in March and the nurse said that he couldn't see his wife and hasn't necessarily really seen her in person since. He said that they were together like a few times, 3 or 4 times for like 15 minutes outside when it was summertime. But besides that, they video chat once a week and then they talk every day on the phone. But just to go through that, they said it themselves. They're like, it's heartbreaking just to not be with your person. I couldn't imagine seeing my dog for like a month and then to not see the person that you've been with each other for that long, for almost a year. I mean, I literally couldn't imagine it, but they really couldn't have had better spirits, better attitudes about it. They even said, we're not the only ones in this situation. There's other people that are in this situation as well. So that, and the fact that I asked them, what's the first thing you're going to do when, this is all over, when things are normal? They said, I don't care. I just want to be with each other. And they said they hadn't held hands in a year, and just to physically be with someone is just what they truly want to do. So they're just a great couple, heartwarming couple, and really they're couple goals is what they are. And for any guys out there, take Ron's advice. He said, I asked him what the secret to their marriage is. He goes, she's the boss. And even if she's not the boss, I make sure she believes that she's the boss.
So have you taken that advice, Austin?
I try. Yeah. At least the second part. Yeah. At least let her try to think she's the boss. But I think it's just something that anyone can take to heart. And I can't get enough of them. And I could have made this story 5 minutes, and it's due to time constrictions, have to make it around. I pushed a little bit. I had 2:10. But
and that people are like 2:10. That's not a lot. That is an eternity in broadcast television.
Yeah. So I encourage anyone to just go out there and check them out. And I'm just so inspired by them, their story, and their love, and their commitment to each other, even though they haven't been with each other, but you just feel for them.
Yeah. And Austin, Shayla, she says, oh, that is beautiful, as you were sharing their story. And good morning to you, Jill. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Pam Gardner. Good morning. I see all of you joining in. Thank you, Jimmy. Good morning. So the question that we do have going on in the chat is, where did you meet your significant other? So I know I had a story this morning about racial reconciliation. It featured a ministry leader in Summit County, and I actually met my significant other at his wedding. So yes. So I always say, every time he wishes his wife a happy anniversary, I go, I'm so excited you got married, because that's where I found my husband. What about you guys? Where did you meet your significant other?
So I met Mark. He was needling me a little bit. Because I don't post pictures of him that much.
Oh,
but he's
on your professional pages, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, but he does not like being in the spotlight. So I told him, I'm like, I talk about you all the time. Mark and I met at an event called Jump Back Ball. It's an adult prom. It's Playhouse Square puts on, they used to, I mean, not this year, it was last year. They would put on a big like black tie event where you get all dressed up, and it was a big party. And so Mark, It was super romantic. I was coming out of the bathroom and he was going in and he walked by and said, "Hey, you look good." And he kept walking. And I was like, that was the weirdest thing that ever happened. I'm going to marry that guy.
And 3 beautiful kids later.
3 kids later, the next thing he asked me was, "Have you tried this meat?" And I was a vegetarian at the time. So it really started off.
No, I
really
have not.
No,
Mark's the
I
man.
went along with it. I did go along with it. I was like, yeah, it's great meat. So yeah, so we knocked it out of the park day one.
Very beautiful. We have
Quite
30
the
seconds
wordsmith.
left. Dave, where'd you meet Lindsay?
Well, I don't have enough time in 30 seconds to do the whole story, but bottom line, we met in Columbus on a sidewalk, basically. So again, the details to get into it would be too long, but I ended up going back to that exact same spot to propose to her. So that I'll highlight that in the story. So we're going on 12 years this year, 12 years of marriage, 15 since we met. So that's coming up soon here in March.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Now, Austin,
Avery.
you got your girlfriend.
I can do
10
mine
seconds.
quick. Instagram. Boom.
They didn't have
Bada
Instagram
bing,
back when I met.
bada boom.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can make it quick,
Had
guys.
to meet people in person on sidewalks.
Modern love, Dave. Hey, it all works out, man. Have we lost
Is Danielle talking? Did we lose her?
Do I have to take
What'd
over
you
the
say,
show?
Danny? I can pass it along.
Somebody's got to
right.
wrap this up, I guess.
Danielle is saying goodbye from over
Okay.
there.
All right.
So
Yeah,
All right,
we
see you,
gotta
Danielle.
go anyway. All right. See you guys tomorrow.
we'll see
Bye, guys.
cut-ins on the Today Show. Danielle will be back.
You're the man, Dave.
All right.